Hey, thanks for joining us, everybody. It's August 24th, 2019. I'm meat and he's butter. Yeah, how you like being thrown off, Perry?
What are you talking about? I expected that. I've been waiting for that to happen.
Make sure you guys catch our podcasts on YouTube, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts. I just want to remind you guys we're giving away a Le'Veon Bell jersey that's autographed, and we'll be giving that away on our next episode, right, Perry?
Yeah, we're gonna give it away Tuesday. We're right about 300 followers on Twitter. We appreciate everybody that's helped us out there. Just a reminder that you get a second chance to win if you subscribe on YouTube. So just double your chances there. Go ahead and throw us a subscription on YouTube. That way you can get alerted every time a new video comes up.
And this is Clock Management.
Yeah, Justin. So
Oh,
what's going on with you?
uh,
Anything new in your life?
yeah. I mean, like we were saying, it's our Friday episode, so I mean, we're doing it Saturday morning because we're both extremely busy Friday. I know you were. I had family over, so I'm not drinking beer this Saturday morning. A little bit too early for me, so I'm having some coffee here right now. What about you, Perry? You
I'm having a
drinking?
nice glass of deconstructed coffee, which is just water.
Yeah, down to the
Um,
basics.
yeah, I'm bringing it back to the basics. I fully plan to indulge in a cup of coffee as soon as we're done here, though.
Yeah, I was saying, Perry, you look like a nomad over there. What's going on?
I'm staying at a buddy's house down here in California. My wife is graduating from grad school tomorrow or today. Jeez. Uh,
Oh no,
very,
that's
yeah,
today.
yeah. Wait, where am I supposed to be right now? Uh, no, we're very excited. That's what we're doing this afternoon.
That's
2 years in the making,
that's
finally
awesome.
done.
Congratulations to your wife, man.
Yeah, it's a big day. But right now, focus on some fantasy football. We got some news to cover today. Um, yeah, why don't we just get into it?
Yeah, I like how your buddy who we had on last episode. Yeah, that's last episode. Seems
Yeah,
like forever ago. I don't know why, but yeah, he was talking about how when you have an injury, like certain injuries, you have a higher risk of a re-injury. And there's one player he said specifically that he was avoiding, and that was Cam Newton. So you
yeah,
want to get into that?
yeah. Cam Newton right here, diagnosed with a midfoot sprain. Ben did mention that the lower the sprain, the better when it comes to recovery time. But the lower the sprain, the higher the chance of a re-injury. So midfoot sounds like Cam should be back by week one. That's kind of what they're hoping. But the fact that he's in a walking boot and he's not practicing for the next 2 weeks, that's not great for him. It's not great for the Panthers. I know that Christian McCaffrey is kind of moving down some people's boards. I still have him as number one, but I think that gap between him and Saquon, or even him and Alvin Kamara, is getting smaller for me. Um,
So
Justin, you own Cam Newton. What are you gonna do?
I do not own Cam Newton.
Oh, did you drop
I
him?
dropped him during the episode with Ben.
Oh my gosh. He convinced you. He
Yeah,
convinced you.
yeah. But like the argument with dropping McCaffrey and raising Saquon, I don't understand that argument. I could understand it with Kamara, but with
I guess yeah.
McCaffrey, it's like you're dropping him because the quarterback play is bad, but you're raising Saquon because you think the quarterback play is better.
No, I think Saquon's not going up in my eyes.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, McCaffrey's coming down.
Gotcha. But
Does that make sense?
absolutely. But
Yeah.
my point is, why is Saquon ahead of him?
No, Saquon's not ahead of him.
But if he's raising up, and some people have him there, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
That's what I'm saying.
you're saying
That
in general
yeah,
for not
the
for me.
yeah that logic doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of people are really high on that backup quarterback, the rookie quarterback there in New York.
Jones.
Yeah, Jones, and he's had a great preseason. I will admit that, but it's important to note that he hasn't played a single snap against a first team defense.
Yeah,
So
dude, Jones is the new Tom Brady, and Jimmy G is the worst quarterback to ever play football.
yeah,
Preseason.
one of those statements might be true. Uh, no,
No,
so
we. I mean,
me me personally, Saquon hasn't moved up at all. Christian McCaffrey's come down a little bit. Now, if Cam Newton, I have to predict, right? I have to play what I have, the information I have right now. I don't like to predict based on like 2 weeks from now. I try to predict right now, and I think Cam Newton could miss maybe the first week, but
yeah,
uh,
I think he'll be
it
back. I don't know if he'll be 100%, but I think
yeah,
he'll be there.
if Christian McCaffrey finishes the number one, I wouldn't be surprised. If he falls to me anywhere in a draft, I'm still taking him.
Absolutely.
Don't be scared, McCaffrey owners. I don't think this is a huge loss. I just think that
Uh,
maybe pull him down just a little bit for now.
Cam Newton owners panic. Hit the
Yeah,
panic button.
yeah, no kidding. Okay, let's move on here. Another guy that you were very high on. I jumped on your bandwagon that you were pulling around.
I'm
Jordan
sorry.
Reed.
And
Yeah,
then
I
it
know.
caught fire immediately.
I should have stuck with it, man. I should have stuck with it.
No, but my
Jordan.
prediction. Oh, go ahead with the news first.
Yeah. Okay. Jordan Reed leaves Thursday's game. He's being evaluated for a concussion.
So my prediction was 100% correct. He is a league winner until he gets injured. Unfortunately, he got injured before the season started.
So he was never a league winner. Never a league
Yeah,
winner.
he's tied for the number one tight end currently.
Get out. Get out. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So, whenever a player leaves a game in a preseason, you're often thinking, okay, he tweaked one little thing and they just don't want to mess with it. They just, okay, that's good enough. There's no reason for you to get hurt in a game that's meaningless. The word concussion comes in, that scares me.
Especially
Uh,
with Jordan Reed.
yeah, he's been in the concussion protocol before. If he goes fully into the protocol this year, I mean, he's going to probably miss time. So, I'm officially not drafting Jordan Reed.
Yeah, I believe if you've had multiple concussions, it's like a 4 week minimum.
Yeah. So it's still labeled as a potential concussion right now, but we'll see.
Yeah, that's enough for me to be off the Jordan Reed bandwagon, which I was steering. So now there's no one steering that you better get off now.
Yeah. Um, we'll skip Zeke for a moment. We'll come back to him.
That's
Patrick
what the
Chung.
Cowboys said.
Oh gosh. Uh, Patriots safety Patrick Chung. It's somewhat fantasy related. I know, defenses, they come as a whole package, not necessarily as a single player, unless you play in that type of league. But he's being indicted on felony cocaine possession charges. You know,
Uh,
Patrick Chung might not even play this season. So
I'm no expert on this, Perry. So I was gonna refer or defer to you. What is the difference? What makes it a felony charge? Is that your expertise, or you have any expertise there?
why would that be my expertise?
I have no idea. But
I
I
think
saw that and I was like, felony. I'm like, is there a
I
misdemeanor?
well, I think it's the amount that you're holding. And then it's like intent to sell or something, probably.
I know that's
But
what I was wondering. I'm like, how much did he have?
probably a lot because his sentence carries a 3.5 to 7 year like sentence in prison. So Patrick Chung could be going to prison. I doubt it, but
Yeah.
I don't think he's playing football this year or maybe ever again. So
Yeah, I would go. I would lean on the never again.
yeah, really good player. So this hurts the Patriots defense. The Patriots defense, I think, never really gets the recognition it deserves in fantasy. They're very, very consistent. It's one of those defenses where you don't draft them high. Justin and I don't draft defenses at all. But you don't really draft them hoping that they're going to carry your team, but they certainly don't sink your team. So um, something to pay attention to. Too bad for him. I mean, could be a huge waste of talent right there.
Yeah.
Moving on here, let's talk about Zeke. There's been a lot of different headlines with Zeke in the last 3 days or so. The first headline that we should talk about is the fact that he was offered a contract that would make him the second highest paid running back in NFL, right behind Todd Gurley. I thought this was great news when I heard it. I thought that meant Zeke is signing. Not good news for us in our league because I passed him, but I thought he was going to sign for sure. I thought it's a lock. Okay, he'll take it. We'll move on. But then you saw the tweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, why don't you describe the tweet?
uh, Zeke retweeted an article that someone posted saying that Zeke should be the number one paid running back in the NFL. I think hours after the article broke about him receiving the the contract to be the second highest paid.
And more specifically, the tweet said, if Zeke receives an offer of anything less than what Todd Gurley made, he should let it go to voicemail. So I don't know. He retweeted that. That's not a good sign. It has me worried again. Jerry Jones in a press conference made a little joke of Zeke who, and I know that upset Zeke a lot.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't understand it. Jerry Jones has made multiple little jabs at Zeke, and like my
doesn't make
understanding
sense.
is Jerry Jones is a great businessman, and just seems like bad business. Like, why would you poke the bear? You know, like
Yeah,
you're making it so you're going to have to pay this man more money for him to be there because now he has a personal vendetta against you.
yeah. Um, the last headline also involves Jerry Jones, and that's that he's very optimistic, or excuse me, involves Stephen Jones, who I believe is the son of Jerry Jones. That he's very optimistic that the team will come to a deal with Zeke here before the start of the regular season. He says that there's been a lot of communication back and forth. The only communication we've heard is not good. Zeke who, and let that deal go to voicemail. So, um, man, it's just something to watch. I still believe that he will sign, if I had to make a bet right now, but it concerns me. And obviously, if I'm giving you guys advice, I gotta tell you, I did not draft him. I took Alvin Kamara at 3, and Zeke fell to 3, and I believe he didn't get picked until 5. So,
Yeah.
um, I think the risk just doesn't the reward does not outweigh the risk at this point. There's so many headlines of him getting in trouble. I
Yeah,
think that
look,
back in May at that music festival in Las Vegas, where he was handcuffed for a while for an altercation with a security guard. It's just,
yeah.
I don't
Like,
know. Is he going to stay on the field?
and I think he will sign. I don't know if it'll be before week one or not at this point, but it it's how many weeks is he gonna miss, and then like you said, the risk of there's more risk there than other players. So I'm probably avoiding him just in drafts, just so I don't have to deal with that drama. Like I don't want to be wondering if my number one pick is playing this year.
Yeah, I that's where I'm at as well. And as for backups, Tony Pollard, I think, is the guy that you probably want to own. I think a lot of people are seeing Tony Pollard as like, oh, we'll just plug him in and he's Zeke minus 10%.
Yeah,
I don't think
no.
that's the case. I really don't. I think you could probably be seeing like a 65-35 workload share between Tony Pollard and maybe a couple other running backs. Um, so, it's worth owning. I mean, he's worth owning, Tony Pollard, because that's such a good offensive line, top 5 offensive line. But do not draft him thinking, no big deal, I'll plug him in. So, yeah, moving on here from Zeke. Equinemius St. Brown, wide receiver for the Green Bay Packers. He has an ankle injury. He's likely to miss 4 to 6 weeks. It's a high ankle sprain. So again, like we talked about, the higher that sprain up the ankle, the longer the recovery. It's just more painful, I guess, is how Ben described it. So I've had Geronimo Allison ahead of Equinemius St. Brown all off season, and this just kind of moves him even further ahead, in my opinion.
Absolutely. I think it's solidified at this point.
Yeah. Right now, he's probably going to come back as like the wide receiver four almost, and then we'll see if he can work his way up to the wide receiver three again. I wouldn't draft him, maybe stash him if you want to in a deep dynasty league, but yeah, I wouldn't be drafting him. Good news for your 49ers here. George Kittle is back at practice after a calf injury or kind of just a calf strain, I guess.
Yeah.
Uh, his week one status was really never in question, but it's good to see him back in there. He missed a week. He's still a solid tight end pick if you can get him a little later than where he's going. But he's the target there, no doubt about it.
Yeah, I feel like him like not playing last week in preseason because of that calf strain. Like I feel
Mhm.
like with a lot of the star players, they'll throw stuff out there, and it's like it's not like maybe he had a calf strain, but it's nothing that would have kept him out if it was a regular season game.
Yeah, yeah,
It's yeah, it's just precautionary.
I completely agree. They can tell that he is probably the future of that team, and why mess with that for a week of preseason practice? They
Yeah,
just yeah. Kiki QT, wide receiver from the Houston Texans, is sidelined with a sprained ankle. We don't really have a whole lot more information on the severity of the ankle injury. We'll we'll see how it plays out. I think this moves Will Fuller up, although Will Fuller left Thursday's game. So, I don't. These two wide receivers are so talented, but neither one of them can stay on the field.
no,
It's a bummer, man.
it's great. I mean, they're great players for their team to have and stuff, but it's so hard and for fantasy to figure out. Like if you're in a best ball league, like grab one of those two dudes. They're gonna win you weeks.
Yeah, it's speculated even from the team officials that he may not be ready for week one. So, if you're drafting QQQT to start, you're probably in a little bit of trouble here. Um, I think Will Fuller is more likely to start at this point, but with Will Fuller, you just never know. It could be an injury at any moment, and he'll miss 6 games. I've been an owner of Will Fuller in the past. It's frustrating. So DeAndre
Oh,
Hopkins is
but
going to get peppered with
it can also
targets.
be so sweet.
Yeah, I'm no thank you. Yeah, I don't want to go down that route. Yeah,
Though I did have him his healthiest year, so
you did have him as healthiest year. Yeah. Amari Cooper, wide receiver for the Cowboys. We reported a few weeks ago that he was dealing with a heel injury, just a heel bruise. Right now, that is being upgraded to an intrinsic muscle strain. I think maybe it's moved up the calf then a little bit, is how I would interpret that. Granted, I'm not Ben, right? We know Ben apparently knows his stuff because he predicted Cam Newton, but it kind of worries me a little bit with Amari Cooper. I was fairly high on Amari, not to the point of taking him as my number one wide receiver, but this worries me.
uh,
You know,
Ben really Nostradamed us with Cam Newton.
God, how long have you been waiting to say that?
I just thought of it.
Oh man, we got to record in the afternoons when you have less energy.
it's the coffee. I'm telling you,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
on right now.
Uh, so I guess he'll move down a little bit for me. Um, we'll see if he's there for week one, but I think he's still definitely worth owning, definitely worth drafting. Just make sure you get him at the right value. As your number two wide receiver, I think you're okay with Amari Cooper. I think you'll be happy by the end of the season.
Yeah, yeah. He didn't move anywhere on my draft board with this injury. Like maybe if more details come out and it's more serious or something, then maybe. But right now I'm like, he's still sitting right there.
Yeah, exactly. And then Will Fuller, we already mentioned it just to kind of cap that. He left with an undisclosed issue. They didn't even call it an injury, nothing like that. He is coming back from the torn ACL, but every report regarding the torn ACL here in camp has been positive. So Just be cautious with Will Fuller. I wouldn't be reaching too far to grab him, but if he's healthy, he's he's going to put up points. I think there's no doubt about it, especially if QT is missing time.
Yeah. Uh, I know this. We got two preseason games happening today that I wanted to hit on real quick.
Yeah,
You got the 49ers are playing, and also the Cardinals are both playing today. Uh, and both of those are, I think, games that we need to pay attention to
yeah,
see in the 49ers if any wide receiver emerges and how Jimmy G rebounds from his horrible game last week. And
yeah,
also, it's the same field that he tore his ACL on. So we'll see how mentally that messes with him. Uh,
yeah,
and then with the Cardinals, you got Kyler Murray coming, and he also had a horrible week last week. So I want to see if he's able to recover from that, make better decisions, and just what he's able to do. So that'll be interesting to see, and I think that'll really affect their ADP.
yeah. I think especially with Kyler Murray, he's going to get a lot of time. I suspect
Yeah,
today, probably going to play at least a half.
yeah,
So
yeah. I wouldn't be surprised to see him into the third quarter.
yeah, I think he not only do they want to see what they've got, but I think he needs it. I think he needs that time. So
Yeah, I feel like some of it was nerves. The last one, like he needs to calm down and relax and just do what he does. Like
yeah,
just be you.
we're guilty of it here, but I think a lot of people have been hyping him up, and that's a lot of pressure to put on a young kid coming into the NFL.
Yeah, and he better
Uh,
live up to it, Kyler.
you're gonna make me look bad.
Yeah, come on. I got a
Yeah,
lot riding on this.
yeah.
Unlike you.
Too bad he'll never listen to this.
I'm gonna get a death threat from Kyler Murray.
Oh boy.
I can't wait.
Frame it.
I would.
We'll give it as a giveaway.
I finally
Um,
made it.
I finally made it.
Uh,
Do you have any news that nobody cares about today, Justin?
Yes, I do. Uh, I got a couple pieces of news that no one cares about. So, Baker Mayfield said he was surprised with the Giants picking Jones in the draft. And this got blown way out of proportion. People were like crucifying Baker Mayfield for this. And I remember during the draft when it happened, literally every analyst, every person on Twitter, on every other website was blowing up that they were shocked that the Giants drafted him. It's like, oh my God, Baker Mayfield is the same as everyone else.
Well,
Shocking news.
also, a lot of times with like other players, when they talk about like draft picks and stuff, none of these guys are out there scouting. Like,
No,
you think Baker Mayfield's out there scouting other teams'
no,
quarterbacks?
he's watching tape on defenses on the off season,
Yeah.
hopefully, and
That,
chugging beers.
this brings me to another point right here. Now that I have a platform to talk about it, I hate when the NFL or whoever is broadcasting the game hypes the game up as Tom Brady versus Aaron Rodgers. And it's like these guys will literally never be on the field at the same time. Okay, I get that. Yes, they're on opposite teams and they're the star of their team, but this isn't a start like a prize fight. Okay, like neither of them are going to see each other until they shake hands at the end. So
Or exchange
there.
blows at the end. Then it could really be Tom Brady versus an Aaron Rodgers. That's what I
Ooh,
want to see.
I'd take Aaron Rodgers
Oh
for
yeah,
sure.
definitely. I've seen Tom Brady
Okay.
move.
Yeah.
Just move in general.
Okay. Now that we've gone down that segue, what
Yeah,
other
right.
news? What
Uh,
other news?
Antonio Brown files another grievance about his helmet, and they hired an arbitrator for this one. Exactly the same as before. The arbitrators reached a decision, but isn't announcing it till next week, just like they did last time. I have a feeling I know where this is going to go.
Yeah, he's gonna just. You know what?
Hey, I got breaking news for next week.
Uh,
Antonio Brown files another grievance against the NFL.
whoa, whoa! Don't jump the shark there. We're gonna need that next week. Uh, listen. In my opinion, Antonio Brown is his time is better served wearing that new helmet and getting used to it. Uh, like he's gonna have to do it eventually. I don't see what the like. Might as well be now.
But why do it now when you could cause so much drama that his coach has been calling for?
That's right. Maybe this has been all orchestrated by John Gruden.
I like to think so.
Yeah, that guy's the puppet master. He's pulling the strings, dude.
Oh, this is my last piece of news and also my favorite. They had a picture of Aaron Rodgers in the airport when he flew to Winnipeg. Did you see this?
No.
Oh my God. He has an amazing mustache going on, and he's in a jean jacket and jeans with a belt buckle and like it's great, and he just looks like he has lived in that somewhere in the middle of nowhere in Canada his entire life. And I saw comments from Canadians like, "That's what we call a Canadian tuxedo."
You know, Aaron Rodgers does grow a nice mustache.
Yeah, I'm gonna be posting that on or putting that up on here while we're for everyone to see. So you guys are looking at that right now. It's whoops, wrong way. It's right there.
It's right there. Point at it. It's
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah, perfect,
Because
Barry.
I'm not sure which side it's on, but it's right there.
You nailed it.
uh, all right. Well, I think that's everything we had to cover today.
Yeah, and yeah, that's pretty much everything. I think we got everything.
Yeah. So we'll be back on Tuesday.
Yep.
I should be back in the garage on Tuesday. So stay tuned to see what my background looks like.
Yeah, I may add a couple more action figures or something behind me, some more football stuff. I'm excited for that. I've been thinking about switching out my Jerry Rice jersey right here with an Antonio Brown one, just because we've been talking about him so much.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Put a helmet over it.
Oh my God, how much for an autographed Antonio Brown helmet right now?
Oh boy. We'll post that on news nobody cares about on Tuesday.
Yeah, I will be finding one.
All right. Well, everybody take care. We'll see everybody on Tuesday.
Adios.